All right, so thank you everyone for joining for today's webinar. It is on listing presentation. So let's start. Remember, next week we are going to have another webinar session at 10 o'clock. Thursday, it is about AI. I think this is part 8 of AI. I already did a lot of AI technology and how agents can use it. These are practical lessons. I'm not just talking about what's happening in the market. This is the way to use it. I actually get into the bottom of every application that I could share with you and tell you how you can use it and where you can use it, step number 1, 2, and 3. So these are really practical. I recommend you to go and start watching AI number 1 and 2, which were very practical, and take it from there. So next week, we're going to talk about social media posting, how you can do it for free and in the easiest possible way. I mean, everybody can do it. You don't need to have a PhD in computer to do what I'm going to tell you next week. It's very practical. Don't forget role play on Monday from 9 to 9:30. Just join us. This is open for everyone. It doesn't matter your brokerage. I don't care about the brokerage. I care about us as a community of real estate agents learning and working together. Go to my YouTube channel. There are a ton of things that I've done in the past. There are hundreds of videos there, and these are very technical. You can just start learning from whatever is in there for you. If you go through any of these videos and you have questions, just grab the phone or send me text, and I would be more than happy to help you to go step by step of learning whatever is in there. Listening presentation. Okay, so let me stop sharing here, because this is most of the talking rather than seeing things. So when we talk about listing presentation, there are a few steps that we have to follow. It doesn't matter who you are, at what stage you are, if you're a savvy real estate agent or just graduated from college. When it comes to listing presentation, there are 3 parts into that. First is pre-listing, then comes to qualifying call, then comes to listing presentation, the actual listing presentation, which can be in 2 parts, all depends. So what I'm telling you here is not written on stone, okay? Same way when you grab the phone, you do cold calling, when you door knock, you cannot always use one script in no matter what cases. You have to adjust, you have to adapt, you have to change. If there is a grandma's opening the door, your script is different than if the wife's or husband or the homeowners open the door for door knocking. The same way I cannot tell you that there is only one successful way of prospecting, same way for listing presentation. So you have to adapt yourself to the situation. I had cases that I went there. Mike Ferry has a script said 5 minutes listing presentation. I went there with 5 minutes. I had the contract signed. I left. So I didn't go through half an hour, 1 hour listing presentation, because that was the best strategy listing presentation for that situation. So you have to recognize where you are, what you do. If you have a listing presentation happen on the other side of the city, or you have a listing presentation next street where you live, or with your family members or a close friend, these are a little bit different. So you have to adjust yourself, your presentation based on your situation. So that's why I'm saying this listing presentation is not written on stone, but the core, the fundamentals is the same. There should be a pre-listing, there should be qualifying call, and there should be listing presentation, the actual listing presentation. So starting from the first one, pre-listing. There are different ways of doing pre-listing. Pre-listing basically is to prepare the road for you to get in contact or step into the next phase, eventually listing presentation. So some people prepare some documents and mail it or courier it to the door of a seller. Some other people is emailing this information. And I don't really care. Someone said, no, email won't work. Some people say putting the package at the door doesn't work. It doesn't matter. As I said, you have to judge what situation you are at and do it properly at that time. I had a listing presentation on the other side of the city. I'm not going to take the package there and put it there at the door and hoping they open and no one's going to take it, maybe whatever. So in that kind of cases, I email them. So personally, the way I do it now these days, I have my email that goes to my clients, but I tell them that there is an email coming to them. All right. So you can do pre-qualifying calls before pre-listing or after. It doesn't matter. I usually do it before. So what I do, what I recommend you to do, go to Mike Ferry's script. There is pre-qualifying script that you can do. It means that you grab the phone, say, hello, hello, John. Our meeting is tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Before I come out there to see you, I have a few questions to ask you. Is that okay? He says, sure. What is your question? Then you go through the questionnaires and ask them different questions. The reason for pre-qualifying call is to check the motivation if the seller is really wants to sell or is just playing game there. Many times in the past, when my coaches were saying, before you go to the listing presentation, make the call, make sure they're there. I was afraid of calling and get the meeting canceled. So out of my fear, I never called them. I went to the place, no one's home. So I learned it doesn't matter the price you pay. I learned to call them before I show up at the door the day after for my listing presentation. So I call them and make sure they're home, make sure they know that I'm coming, and I'm going to find out their motivation and also where they want to go, if they are planning on selling their home and interviewing many other agents or no. So that would prepare your road. Yeah, there is a very famous agent in our neighborhood. We might have an interview with him as well. So what I do in that kind of cases, I find out who is the top-notch agent in that neighborhood. I pull out all the MLS transactions that happen in that neighborhood by that individual. I wanted to check how many properties he sold or she sold, how many of them were expired, price change. I had cases that when I was sitting with the homeowner, he said, well, look, Mr. ABC is a great real estate agent in this neighborhood. It's very strong. And I had that information. I had like 10, 20 of the listing for the last 12 months. I pull it out and I show him that, listen, he put the signs in front of the house. It doesn't mean he sells them. Look, out of 20 MLS sheet I have here, 11 of them is either price change or expired. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Of course, the home sellers, all they see is a sign in front of the house. Then they pass, they forget about it. So it's important for you to know who is there as your competitor and see what is the situation for that competitor in that neighborhood. Pull out all the data and information. That can help you. You don't need to go against that individual. Always admire a hardworking agent. Okay, we are I believe that we are here to help each other. There's 50,000 homes selling in Toronto, for instance, GTA. I don't want 50,000 listing. All I need is 20 or 30 of them per year, and that's good enough for me. So if someone is stronger than me, I learn from that individual. I'm not going to go against him and her or her, start bad talking behind that individual. I admire him. He's hardworking. I try to learn what the strategy he's using. He's a hardworking, then he deserves it. So that's one thing. The other thing that you can do through the script of pre-qualifying when you call them, one of the question here is, so Mr. Seller, tell me more about your house. This is the script that we're going to tell. Now, I used to say, okay, Mr. Seller, let's say John. Okay, John, so you said you have a house, it's a 3 bedrooms with finished basement and a swimming pool. Is that right? And they will say yes. Then someone said, no, no, no. The reason we use the script the way it is to find out if that person is a different personality character. That refers it to disc personality. For instance, if I said, John, can you elaborate? Can you describe your home to me? If John start talking about the size of rooms, square footage, high foot ceiling, 9 foot ceiling, 10 foot ceiling, um, different size of swimming pool, I know this person is analytical, is C personality. So I know when I go to listing presentation how to talk to John. If John start going straight forward, is a 3 bedrooms with finished basement and swimming pool. Any other question? I know he's a driver, a D personality driver. He wants a straightforward. So I'm not going to prepare him 200 pages of analytical things that happen in that neighborhood. I go straight forward to him. Or if I start explaining how he made the swimming pool, the neighbors are beautiful, I know that's I personality. So I prepare myself. So that pre-qualifying script that we go over it is essential. And that's very important. So at the end of my pre-qualifying questionnaire that I'm talking to them, I ask them, I would send them an email, a package for you to review. In that package, I'm going to put my testimonials of whatever testimonial I have them, print in the PDF. That's going to be part of my email. The second thing I send them is who I am, my activities, how long I've been in business, my biography, and also CMA. I send them all the market activities. I might also send them the agreement to list their house. So I tell them, Mr. Seller, I'm going to send you a package of information. Would you spend 10 minutes reading it? And say, yeah, okay, that's no problem. So I know that he's waiting for my email. So that covers the pre-qualifying calls that you have to make and also pre-listing package that I send them. So when I go at the door the day after, at that time, I'm usually there 5-10 minutes earlier, prepare myself and prepare my mindset, is if I'm evaluating if I should go in one shot or two shots. If it's far away, I usually go straight forward. If it's close by, I go at the first time I see that person, I go there to create a report. So I go there, introduce myself. I said, okay, give me a tour of the house. As I'm walking, I'm telling him that I need to see the house and upgrades and whatever you have to estimate the right price for your house. So if you're available tomorrow at 7 o'clock with your partner or spouse, then we can sit down. I tell you exactly how much your homes can go for. He said, that's fine. So I walk through the house. I try to create some rapport. I take a look at the pictures. If they have any family pictures, if they have a baseball equipment, ski, whatever I see, I open a conversation, create that report, try to stay there at least 20 minutes, walking through the house, ask them questions. Also ask them if there is any upgrade into the house, like kitchen upgrades, backyard. There I can use the disc personality for whoever is the owner of the house, maybe husband or wife. I connect with them and I find their motivation and their expectation. I throw some questions to get the feeling of where they are in terms of price. Sometimes casually as I'm walking, most of them, they say, well, that's why you're here, to tell us how much our home is worth. So you can throw a question such as, well, I'm connected with overseas investors. If I bring you an offer for 1,200,000, and what would you sign back for? Well, we're not going to take 1,200,000. We're going to sign it back for 1,400,000. So that would give you some ideas of where this guy is looking for. So you evaluate the motivation. You try to understand where it's coming from in terms of price and how you can work together. So I tell him that I would come back tomorrow. I'm gonna check and evaluate his house compared to other house in the neighborhood, and then I will see you the day after. So when it comes the day after, I'll make sure all the homeowners are home. And I come with 6 questions that I learned this one from Rob Vivian, and I found it very effective and very practical. So the 6 questions are, and I try to not bring it up as a question, even though you can, but I try to build it into a conversation. So I'm going to answer 6 questions. Sometimes I tell them, Mr. Home Sellers, whenever I get together with any other homeowners, I notice that they have 6 questions to ask. So I make it very straightforward with you. So I'm going to tell you who I am. I'm going to tell you which company I'm working with. I'm going to tell you how is the market, what I do for you, my fee, and how much your home is worth. Is that fair? And they usually say, yeah, that will cover everything. Or you can build it up together. As you have a conversation, you don't tell them you are going to ask you or you have a question about who I am. I just say, John, I'm working in real estate for the last 20 years, touching buyers, sellers, investors. I did a lot of investment in the past. And then one of the reason I joined eXp Realty here is they are international companies with a lot of online approaches and clients. And in this market, and I start talking about the market, in this market that the interest rate stays steady. And then I start elaborating about how the market is right now. You may want to back up yourself with some of the statement or some of the stats that we have that printed and just to support yourself. Now, the question about your fee, you are going to remember the price of their homes is what they are waiting for. You don't give it to them till the last minute. So you tell them the fee. This is how much it's going to cost for myself and my brokerage, and whoever wants to purchase your house means the buyer agent. Okay, so far I'm going to double check something with you guys. Can everybody hear me? Okay, perfect. That's good. So regarding your fee, you have to explain to them how the fee works. I usually say the standard in the market is whatever percentage you want to offer to your client, to the home seller. And then I would say, based on what I told you in my marketing, is there anything that would stop you from working together with me? Are you happy? Well, yeah, everything's fine, looks good. Okay, so then I would tell them based on what we see, the price of homes is at this number. And after that, we try to wrap it and get it signed right there. There are few questions that I know some of the agents were asked is, what about if I'm new agents? Well, that's fine. What you have is hopefully a strong company behind you. So if you're a brand new agent, you've been in business for 1 year, 2 years, or a few months, you don't push it on yourself. You just say, I am working with my team in very strong company with very strong team. Our company is selling, buying all the time, a lot of properties. That's one of the things that you can help. If your company is small or unknown, then you have to rely on other partners in the market that you work with. I give you one example. When I go door knocking, I tell them that your neighbor down the road homes is for sale for $2 million. And they say, oh, you listed. I said, no, it's one of my associate that listed the house. Okay. I'm not saying it's another real estate agent. I said it's one of my associate, which is true. So if you are working with a small company or unknown company, you can always refer to a collaborations working of all the agents together, which is very true. We all work together. How to price a home? If the house is very different than any other homes in that neighborhood, if there is no solid track of buying, selling that happened recently in that neighborhood, what is the closest price you can find? I use different ways. CMA is one of the way. If everybody's homes are 3 bedrooms, you are selling a 4 bedrooms. Of course, you have to check the lot size, the square footage, how new and old the neighborhood and the house is. But one of the things as a last shot I use is I go back to what we call it home price index. You can find it in the TREP site. You go there and you can, every month that's printed is published. So you can go there and find your neighborhood, find the kind of house that is in there. They have condos, they have single homes, they have townhouses, and get an idea of the growth percentage. Let's say you are selling a house in Churchill Middle in Mississauga. So when you go to home price index, that neighborhood shows the growth in 1 month, 3 months, then go to 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years. And it would give you the percentage of growth. Let's say this home seller purchased the house 5 years ago. You can immediately go there and see what percentage the house grew. And then based on purchase price 5 years ago, and add up the percentage. Let's say it went up 10% per year, or within 5 years went 10%. Then that can give you a guesstimate of where the price could be. So just in case your client, this home seller question you, you have that print out with you as well. Okay, we call it home price index. Go grab it, it's very important. That also helps you with investment. If someone's thinking about investment, you go to an investment presentation to communicate the importance of investing in real estate with someone. And that person said, where do you think I should invest for purchasing a house? That home price index would help you. You can show different neighborhood, tell them, I'm looking at, let's say, Milton, or I'm looking at the Scarborough. Look at different neighborhood. Look at this neighborhood. Everybody's performance was 5%. This neighborhood moved up 8%. So that's what we're going to focus. I use home price index a lot in the past, very successfully. Remember, when emotion cannot communicate and convince people, numbers can do. So use numbers for your benefit. Checking competitors, I told you what you have to do, pull out all the expire, overprice, price change that can help you when you come to listing presentation. And take the main things to take with you if you want is, one of the things I take is the importance of using pictures, professional photographer. I have in my binder, I have before and after kind of for pictures. I have a sample of bad pictures when I'm listing with an agent that doesn't know what he's doing or doesn't put importance on taking sharp pictures by professional real estate photographer, versus I grab my cell phone and start taking pictures. Okay, so I take sheet in my presentation that can support my statement. One of the things that would also support you is how the graph of overpriced homes would affect the selling price of the house. For instance, in the graph, when you put it in front of the home sellers, tell them based on the stat, see if you price your home very high, then it would take a long time for you to realize that the price was high, then you come down. By that time, you're underselling your home. So that graph is very powerful and very meaningful, and that helps you to communicate your statement with them. The same thing for feasible for sales by owner. In the past, I did many of them. So one of the things I used to do is to pull out the for sales by owner. Long time ago, we had it for sales by owner. We weren't on MLS. So I was using different tools to communicate with for feasibles, that selling on their own is not necessarily the best tools. They can earn more money. Eventually, they will lose more money than using with an agent. So if there's anything that can support you and your statement, or answering the objections, have a printout and leave it in your binder if you want to take a binder with you. In that binder, you can also put a listing agreement. I also recommend you to have your amendment for price change together with you, just in case the owner wants to try a higher price for first 2 months, for first 2 weeks, and then wants to change the price. So get it signed right there. So after 2 weeks, you don't need to go back and bring some different stories to why he should reduce the price at that time. And I think that would cover everything for listing presentation. I'm open now for any question. Any questions for me? You can unmute and ask me questions.
Hi, Ashton.
Hi, Holly.
I sorry, I missed the beginning, I think, or I just didn't understand. So you said if happen your listing presentation, it's gonna far away, you will send them the listing presentation, like email them to as a as like the what we call explain. So just you prepare them what you're going to discuss
That's
with before
correct.
you go there. Okay.
That's correct. I would give them a call. The call is always there. So I give them a pre-qualifying call, check their motivation, check to see if there's husband and wife, make sure they're all both there together. And as I said, I learned this hard way. I went there, husband was there. Don't worry, I'm going to tell my wife. Well,
Okay, right.
that won't work. So make sure you have your pre-qualifying calls. Tell them over the phone that you're going to send them, you're going to email them a pre-listing package. In that package, you're going to put your testimonials. You
Right.
are going to tell them who you are. That's the second page of your PDF. And you can send them market CMA, and you can also send them a blank, or you can fill up a listing agreement. If you
Okay.
want to be more creative, what I do is to package them as a book. So when I send them one PDF, when they open it, it's like a page. You click on it, the page flips.
Oh, okay, okay.
Nicer presentation.
Yeah.
If you want,
Thank you.
I can find out where I did it. I think I did it for free, and I can send you the link of where you can create your PDF book. It's extremely easy to do.
Sure.
You can do
Please.
it with closed eyes. So pre-qualifying call is there, and send them pre-listing email package. Now, as I said, you can choose whatever you comfortable and you like to do. I'm not saying this is the best way, this is the only way. I believe that any ways could work as long as you make it work and it works for you. If your pre-listing package on the printed material and the box is practical, is working for you, continue that way. Don't switch. But
Okay.
for long distance that I need to go only one time, I would send them a pre-listing through the email. Good question. Any other question?
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
No problem. Come on, ask questions. So anyone knows where the home price index is? Okay, when you log into MLS, there is one icon that you can push called MLS services. Okay, that's the very first page as soon as you log into MLS. On the top right, said MLS services. When you click there, it will take you to the next page where you're going to see a lot of services. On the very top left, you can see home price index. When you click on it, it would give you the last month that's prepared. When you download that one, I think it's 150 or 200 pages, don't print it out. you can open that PDF and it would give you the neighborhoods, the kind of homes that you're looking for. That's very powerful. And use it for investment as well. I use it all the time. So anyone, if you need that flipping PDF book and how to make it, send me an email. You might have my email is deltaland123@gmail.com, or text me at my number 647-407-4049, and I can gladly send you the link for that PDF maker. Any other questions? Okay, if there's no other question, then remember on Monday, 9 to 9:30 is role play. And next week, we're gonna have a session and we're gonna AI and how you can create posts in easy way and putting into your Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and these are all free, okay? So the technology is provided to you is free, use it. And I can show you the paid version as well. So I'm going to go step by step in a very easy way, how to create it and then how to post it, okay? And that's gonna be next week.
Sorry, actually, one more question.
Go
About the numbers you just said, how to find about using a price index.
Yes.
Maybe you can just email me or just maybe just look at this again. So
Okay.
I know numbers is very, very important. I really always want to have show numbers to
Okay.
clients. That's very, very a strong tool. I know that rather than just say it words.
Yeah, instead
Right.
of saying, well, listen, the price is going to go up. This neighborhood is a great neighborhood. Homes
Yeah.
got very expensive. All those
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
you won't cut it. If you
No,
show
no,
them the
with proof.
numbers,
Yeah.
no one can say, no, that's not true what you said. So instead of relying on emotion, rely on numbers. Mostly when it comes to homes.
Yeah. I know the very home price index HPIS. So that's a good tool, right? So we just use the numbers there and then we can just present it to them. This is
Absolutely.
what it says, a
That
statistic.
helps with the buyers as well. Instead
Yeah.
of getting emotional, well, this
Yeah.
home, I'm not sure. Look, your homes next year, based on what we see here, it shows that
Yes.
this whole
Mm-hmm.
neighborhood is going to go up 5% more. Won't you want to buy a house that goes 5% rather than going to another neighborhood that is 1%? So
Yeah.
let's focus on this neighborhood. That would save you hours of looking
Yes.
around in different cities, trying to guessing and hoping. Remember, you are as a
Mm-hmm.
salesperson, you are the leader. You're
Yes.
supposed to have the authority and knowledge, and
Mm-hmm.
they rely on you. And this is not $10, $20. This is a lot of money.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah, I
So
agree.
let them understand that you are the leader and you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Okay,
home
good.
price index is a great tool. If
Okay.
you need to go to different neighborhoods, just print out 10, 20 of those pages and show your clients where you're supposed to go and how
Yeah.
much they can make.
Yes,
So
that's
as
great.
I
Yeah.
said, numbers always work. So maybe I
Yes.
prepare a video instruction for how you can find that home price index and
Mm-hmm.
send it to you. So if anyone's interested to receive that
Mm-hmm.
video presentation to find home price index and how you can use it, just send me an email and I will be more than happy
Yeah.
to attach it to an
Yeah.
email and send it back to you.
Perfect.
I'm gonna
Sure.
send it to you, Hoda.
Thank you.
Anyone else interested to receive the email? If not now, that's okay. You can always send me an email or text me, and I would forward it to you. I will be more than happy. And if you have any other question regarding listing presentation, just let me know. By the way, this is not perfect. You might have a better style and presentation than me, but use whatever you think is good for you and be consistent and try to always improve it. I had presentation that came up with, I do home cleaning after you leave. I bring moving truck for you. I give you Costco cards, just a token of appreciation. If you want to buy something, prepare you for your next home. I have a whole bunch of everything. The best thing is for seller to see someone with confidence standing up front of them. He knows what he's doing and sell their house for the best possible price with less hassle. That's the best things everybody's looking for. You're not looking for candies. Okay, so work on yourself, work on your mindset, work on your skills, and you can do the best listening presentation.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Rocco. Okay, so I would send you the information I told you. I will email it to you, and the people Rocco are going to send it to you as well. And stay in touch, and hope to see you next week. Thank you everybody for joining.